Hello, adventurers! We've gotten snow, and this time it's sticking around. With the cold and windy weather, my hands are constantly dry. So today I thought I'd teach you how to make some lotion bars. They are really simple and easy to make. 3 ingredients for the base bar. Then, to the base, you can add mica powder, fragrance oil, eco glitter, or dried flower petals. Our 3 base ingredients are a solid butter or oil of your choice. I have cocoa butter and coconut oil on hand for this. A lightweight carrier oil. I like using olive oil or safflower oil. And finally, some beeswax. I'm going to take my trusty scale and put my microwavable bowl on top. Then I'm going to tare the bowl so that its weight doesn't mess up my ratios. I'm going to add the beeswax first. It's about 5 ounces. If I'm a little off, it's not going to ruin my ratios. Next up is the carrier oil. I'm using olive oil today. This will be 6.4 ounces, or if you're like me and didn't tare your scale after you put in the beeswax, roughly 10 ounces. If it's a little off, that is okay. Now we are going to pop the bowl into the microwave on 60-second bursts to melt the beeswax and oil together. We want everything melted down to a liquid. The reason is that we're going to be putting the cocoa butter in next. Cocoa butter doesn't really have a semi-solid form. It's either a solid or it's a liquid. It also melts about 30 degrees Celsius colder than beeswax does. So the beeswax olive oil mixture should be hot enough to melt the cocoa butter without you putting the mixture back into the microwave. This works better if you don't have a giant cocoa butter wafers like I do. So back into the microwave the mixture goes. Now that everything is a liquid, I could pour these into my Brambleberry 6-count silicone molds I have here and be done with it. However, I chose not to. Instead, I added about 3 times the amount of fragrance oil I needed to. Please do not do this, and always measure your fragrance oils. I put in an unsafe amount that would have ended up causing a negative chemical reaction with the skin. So once the batch was finished, I actually went back and melted it down, adding the appropriate amount of my base ingredients to make a skin-safe lotion bar that I could gift to others. PSA over. We are going to continue with the scheduled program. After I added my fragrance oil, scent notes are down in the description by the way, I decided I needed to add more pizzazz. So I put some calendula and blue cornflower petals into my molds. Then I spooned a small amount of the lotion bar mixture into each mold. This keeps my flower petals from floating throughout the entire bar during the cooling process and makes the tops extra eye-catching. Disposing of my spoon, I then poured the remainder of my liquid into the molds and popped them in the freezer for about an hour. This last bit does not have to be done. I'm just eccentric. I do it so that the bars are easier to get out of their molds, and honestly, because it makes them set up quicker. And so after an hour, I grab the now solid lotion bars and I divest them of their molds, and that's it, we're done. Everything for the base bar can be bought at your local farmer's market, grocer, and if you can't find it anywhere else, you can find the beeswax at your local craft store. If you're making lotion bars using this recipe, let me know. In the comments below, tag me on Instagram at The Faulty Grimoire. And I hope you all have a good day. May your side quests be memorable and your main quest be fulfilling.